I now have the honor and the distinction of introducing to you not only the 216 Colorado Middle Level Principal of the Year, but also the 2017 National Secondary School Principal of the Year, Dr. Tom Dodd. And again, the doctor thing, you doctor people. Tom is the principal of Lesher Middle School in the Poudre School District, and he represented Colorado alongside other states' winners in the selection process for the National Principal of the Year. He was selected this past fall after an extensive and exhaustive application and interview process conducted by National Association of Secondary School Principals, many of whom you belong to that association. I've had the pleasure of knowing Tom for a very long time, going back to his days in Eagle County Schools. He has been a school administrator for 17 years, serving 12 of those at Lesher Middle School. His leadership is characterized by high expectations for students and staff, coupled with an equally high degree of support. He has been intent on establishing a personalized learning environment for kids and a collaborative workplace for staff in which every member of the school community feels that their contribution matters and makes a difference. When Tom came to Lesher, the school's reputation was struggling. Enrollment had decreased significantly, and there was the sense that the honors program divided students based on their socioeconomic background. Tom wasted no time in improving the school culture dramatically. He opened an international baccalaureate program to all students and worked closely with teachers on fostering greater inclusiveness. He stressed the power of celebrating diversity among students and gave to each teacher an anchor pin to represent their role in helping every student feel grounded and safe. Tom's work paid off. Lesher student enrollment has grown from 500 to about 770 students with a wait list. Being at the school, you can feel the positive energy and enthusiasm for learning. Tom was recognized with this national award in a surprise ceremony this fall that included Poudre Superintendent Sandra Smizer, leadership from NASSP and CASE, Fort Collins City Manager, and even a phone call during the ceremony from U.S. Secretary of Education John King. Tom's leadership is inspiring, and Colorado is so proud of you. Please join me in welcoming to the stage 2017 National Secondary School Principal, Dr. Tom Dodd.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone.
Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate the kind words and introduction. Mitch mentions we go back a ways. It's hard for me not to have a reflective moment as I was listening to his words, and I'm flashing back 20 years ago to about 95-6 when we were young teachers early in our careers, in our mid-20s, in Eagle County at Eagle Valley High School and Eagle Valley Middle School, and playing cards on Friday with other 20-something teachers, single teachers, and thinking about the job and reflecting, and here we are 20-plus years later on sharing a stage together. So it's been a pleasure, Mitch, to follow your career over the years as well. And congratulations, Dr. Bill, on your well-deserved award. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted by the invitation to share a few words with all of you this morning. I've discovered in just the few months I've held the title of National Principal of the Year, just how validating awards like this can be for my school, district, state, and the profession. Much like the honors the CASE organization bestows on a superintendent, principals, assistant principals every year, it's affirmed that we're on the right track. Perhaps even more important, it's emboldened us to reach even higher to help our students, staff, and colleagues become even better. The National Principal of the Year acknowledgement has afforded me the opportunity to gauge a dialogue with our federal legislators, Senator Bennett, Senator Gardner, Representative Polis. I've had the opportunity to present at the National Blue Ribbon Schools Ceremony in Washington, D.C., provide input on the allocation of Title II professional development funds to outgoing Secretary of Education at the U.S. Department of Ed Principals Ed event with Dr. King, participate in the online McKinsey Management Program for school leaders, and help build a school in the Dominican Republic through LifeTouch Photography's memory mission. It's been a very humbling and gratifying experience. In the process, I've met many outstanding educational leaders from very diverse schools and districts across the nation with very compelling stories, not unlike our own. What's clear is that we all share the common goal of improving educational experiences and outcomes for kids, and the common belief that the true path to student success is through high expectations with high support. The quality of any school or district is in direct proportion to the quality of the adult relationships. We seek ways to enhance educational excellence and equity in our schools and districts to help students fulfill their human potential. We empower students to lead their learning by amplifying student voice so they own what happens inside their schools. We maintain a bias for yes to promote ownership in a community of practitioners where experimentation, collaboration, and reflection and learning should be and are the norm. The characteristic that sets great schools apart from average schools is a level of dedication to the collective mission. Continuous improvement ought to permeate every discussion. These are the themes that I've noticed in our state over the years, and in particular in the last few months as Principal of the Year. I believe public education is a cornerstone of our American democracy. Even more, I believe it's the civil rights issue of the 21st century. And it's our professional responsibility and moral imperative to fulfill the promise, as Mitch mentioned, of public education in our respective communities, whether it's rural, suburban, or urban here in Colorado. It's a hard journey and sometimes it's messy. But as many of you have already discovered, there are no shortcuts, definitely not financially. And if the true path to student success is high expectations with high support, then the path to high expectations with high support is empathy. I'm hopeful that all of us here at the Case Winter Leadership Conference see our schools not just through data spreadsheets and master schedules, as important as they are, but through the eyes of each student. We can help students be their best selves only if we know the hopes, frustrations, anxieties, and expectations each of them bring to school every day. We must see the enterprise of public education not as we, the adults, believe it is, but as our students know it to be. We need to make our schools fit the kids, not the kids fit the schools. If I may speak specifically to my principal colleagues for just a moment, we can't ignore the challenges of creating a consistent, high-quality educational experience throughout a student's day. It's hard, and it's a complex job. As author Daniel Pink asserts, it's about providing our people with mastery, autonomy, and purpose. The principalship requires a greater depth and breadth of skills than ever before. I see it as servant leadership. Innovation rarely comes from the top. It's the people doing the work closest to the solutions, most likely to find ways to do things better and more efficiently. We must know our teachers and staffs more deeply. We must examine data more critically. We must listen more intently. We must advocate more frequently. And to build trust, we must do it all more transparently. The important thing is this: to be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could become. Artist Charles Dubois said that. Congress has expressed an ESSA, and the U.S. Department of Education has affirmed, and I want to make sure all the superintendents in the room hear this, and that is that an investment in leadership is an investment in learning. Remember, the second most important school-based factor in student achievement, second only to a high-quality classroom teacher, is a high-quality building principal. So as Colorado undertakes its implementation of ESSA, I encourage not only my principal colleagues out there, but everyone gathered here today across all 7 CASE departments to do what you can to make sure our state policymakers understand the key role of leadership and the role it plays in schools and the role it plays in school and district-wide success. And I encourage all of you to continue to share your school and district stories with anyone who will listen. We have come a long way in the great state of Colorado, but we still have a long way to go. And you should all have a lot to say in how we get there. We need to control the narrative. Let's replace fear with trust and build an esprit de corps as a profession, as educational leaders. No non-discussables. All of us with a stake in the success of students needs to own our stuff, take responsibility, and not put an excuse where an apology should be. I believe education is the great equalizer if we're committed to improving learning experiences and outcomes for all kids. Let's embrace the magnitude of that responsibility to make our society and our communities better. In closing, I'd like to share with you the words that are written on a banner that adorns the staff entrance to my middle school. We call it the Lesher difference, but for the sake of the next 2 days, I'll call it the case difference. And it reads like this: the opportunity to make us better is everywhere if we choose to act. Better is seeing a void and filling it, hearing a call for assistance and answering it, taking a wrong and making it right, empowering each other. Better is a call to action, a rallying cry, determined, disciplined, passionate, and connected. It's searching within and reaching out, and doing so with purpose. So when the sun sets and we think about what the tomorrows will bring, we understand that better is not what we do, it is who we are. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to connecting with many of you over the next couple of days. It's been a pleasure to represent Colorado as the National Principal of the Year.